Hi guys, welcome to today's SetrocJC channel daily video. As usual, if you enjoy the content, please don't forget to like, subscribe and comment below. Now strap yourselves in, let's get on with today's daily topic. Today's topic is going to be about schools and being at school really. So let me set the scene. Picture this in your mind. A small chap, quite short, quite skinny, with Buddy Holly glasses on. That's basically me, my first day of secondary school. I had no bloody chance. It's like, how the hell am I going to walk across a room and not have people calling out or saying stuff to me? I was like lamb to the slaughter. But nobody had the decency to tell me this before I went to secondary school. Oh no. I went to primary school in like a coastal town. There weren't many kids, it was a very small school. And my secondary school was pretty big. It was obviously the regional secondary school. So there were a lot of kids there. There were a lot of people there that I'd never met, obviously. And I was very nervous on my first day. And as with most secondary schools, there's obviously a lot of kids there a lot older than you and a lot bigger than you. I was very nervous. Playtime's probably, when you first start school, that's probably the scariest time. When you go out into the yard and you obviously mix in with all the older kids. So I did all the normal things in the morning on my first day. I went to the class, I went to register and all that sort of gumph. Then I went out into the playground for the first break. And picture this in your mind. I walk out the doors, immediately to my right, about 50 yards away, there's two kids having the biggest fight you've ever seen. They were both basically stood 6 foot apart and both windmilling their fists at each other. They were both stood still. They were swinging and swinging and swinging. Left, right, left, right, left, right. Edging towards each other slowly. And then when they met in the middle, there was just like carnage. It was like neither of them wanted a fight, but neither of them could pull out because it was the first day and they had to prove their machoism. All the kids were around them shouting and I was stood there open-mouthed. This is the last thing I needed on my first day. This was what I was dreading. This is what I've been hearing about in people talking about secondary school and what it's like. This is what I was dreading, and here it is presented with me on the first day of school. I was petrified. I didn't know what to do with myself. I just hated going out into the playground in case I was made to have one of them fights, or I was made to show my machoism. And let's face it, I wasn't very macho at all. I was probably one of the smallest boys in the year, so I would have had no chance against these swingers. So that was my first day, and I basically got on with it after that, as everyone else does. And now all I can remember really is that, and things like, why can't teachers wire up a TV to a video recorder? It's like, what is wrong with you? These are supposed to be the people that are teaching the next generation stuff, but they can't even do something as basic as plugging in a TV and putting on the video record. Half the time they have to get the students to do it for them. How basic is that? You're teaching the next Einsteins of population, yet you can't even do something as basic as that. And that never changed. I went to uni, and the bloody bloke at uni, I did an IT degree, and the flipping teacher still couldn't blimmin' do it. But in uni, it had moved on a level. It is now projectors. The projectors that you had up on the ceiling. So he had the difficult task of getting out his laptop, plugging the bloody cable into the back of it, switching the output to the flipping projector, and then turning the projector on. But he couldn't do it. He didn't have a flipping clue what he was doing. Every time he used to come in late. They're always bloody late when the flipping uni lecturers muck about with a flipping laptop and projector for about 5 minutes, realised that his bloody knowledge wasn't good enough for an IT professor. This bloke was a professor, and then he'd have to go off and find the support people. And the support bloke, he could have been the funniest bloke in the school if he'd wanted to be. He had such an opportunity, but he didn't. He couldn't do it. He'd mooching, got no personality. They support people, IT support. They got no personality whatsoever. There's nothing there. They all walk like lurk. Chances are he was a virgin. Always tell a virgin. Always look a bit uptight. Never loose, are they? Walks over to it, mutters a bit under his... doesn't even look up at the amphitheatre with everyone watching him. If all he had to do was say a little joke like, bloody hell, you thought you'd have sorted this out by now, Professor. But he didn't even try to make anyone laugh. He could have been a hero. He could have been a cult hero. All he had to do was crack a joke each time he came in. But no, just came in, plugged it in. Oh, you need to hit Alt F5 to switch it to that. And that was it. And he'd just mooch out again. What a missed opportunity for him. So I used to get the bus to school, and it wasn't allowed anyway. It's like a double-decker bus. And if this bus wouldn't be allowed nowadays, it's a flipping death trap. The bloody windows are in this winter. It used to be about -12 in the bloody thing. There used to be wind gushing through the windows. There's bloody holes in the roof. It was ridiculous. How did they get away with it? There was no heating. The drivers didn't bloody care. It was always flipping late. It looked like something out of a war zone, this bus. Yet they still let us get on it, and we still had to use it every flipping day. But every now and then we used to get an executive coach because the old relic obviously broken down or was in the garage. So they used to give us these executive coaches that they used to ferry the pensioners round in. I used to feel sorry for the drivers because we used to have to spend the first half an hour once they dropped us off rubbing out cocks from the back of the bloody seats that people had drawn on the windows and stuff. What is it? Cocks and kids love to draw cocks on stuff at school, didn't they? Graffiti consisted of "I was here" or a picture of a cock. So on the whole, I used to take a packed lunch to school every day for dinner. But one day I decided that I was going to have a main meal, a cooked meal. And the dinner ladies, you know what the dinner ladies are like? They always make you eat every morsel of it, didn't they? So I queued up for my dinner. I come back with this, I can't remember what it was, a roast or something, I think, something like that. It took me ages to read it because you get quite a bit, don't you? So I managed to struggle through it. The dinner lady was keeping an eye on me, making sure I was eating every bit. I thought, right, I'm going to go get a dessert now. I've eaten all my dinner, I deserve a dessert. So I get up in the queue, but unbeknownst to me, I got in the wrong bloody queue, didn't I? And they gave me another main. I had a whole whole main to eat. And I took it, and I was too shy to say anything. And I went and sat down again. Then it was a different dinner lady there, and she thought I didn't want to eat it. She was bloody kicking off because she thought I was trying to get out of eating it. I was trying to explain to her that I'd already had one, but she wouldn't bloody listen, you know what they're like. And she forced me to eat this main again, like I was doing some sort of eating challenge or something. It was flipping, I nearly made myself ill, just so she could have some sort of power trip over me. My secondary school, football and rugby. If you were good at football and rugby, you got away with murder as a student. It was ridiculous. If you were in the football team or the rugby team, or both, as most of them were, you could get away. The bloody PE teachers loved you, all the other teachers loved you. It's like, oh, they're representing our school, they're winning prizes for the school, they're doing our school good. They could got away with murder. They didn't do their bloody coursework, they didn't do their own work. I'm sure they probably got better grades because of their bloody, oh, he's good at football, he scored a hat-trick at the weekend, let's give him an A. And the teachers loved him, and it was so annoying for everyone else to get all the girls, didn't they? People that are good at football and rugby get all the women. They're not interested in the likes of me. They're not interested in skinny kids with glasses. They're not interested in me. It doesn't matter what I did, no one was interested. But if you're in the football team, you're a bloody hero, you're a cult hero, all the women want you, makes me sick. So one day I went to class and one of the bullies was in there as usual. I used to hate it when the teachers went out the room because that used to give the bullies an opportunity, didn't it? And the teacher had gone out the room and I was stood there at the side and he come over to me and said, I hope this doesn't offend anybody. This is what he said. He said, you look like a bloody Ethiopian. I said, oh right, okay. He said, do you want to fight? I said, no. I never said no so quick in all my life. And afterwards I thought to myself, you've come over and you've just said that I'm underweight and that I'll probably be an easy fight. And then you asked me if I want to fight. I thought, how low, how blimmin' miserable and how gutless is that to come over to the smallest person in the class and abuse them and then ask them if they want to fight. It's like, how low do you have to be to do that to someone? But this kid was one of the hardest kids in the school, allegedly. I certainly didn't want to mess with him. I didn't want to share a ring with him. Half the kids in the school were known as the toughest kids. Oh, all kids want to talk about is who's the toughest, who's the hardest, isn't it? But half of them never even had a fight. The reason they were like up there ranked in the top 10 or whatever was just because they were the biggest. And every school's got them, hasn't it? They got the kids that seem to be more advanced than everyone else. They got like a beard at 14. They got hairs downstairs before everyone else has even bloody got them anywhere. And it's like, but every school's got them, isn't it? Kids that seem to bloody outgrow everyone else. I had my first internet experience at secondary school. And I don't mean my first internet experience where I'm looking up stuff that you shouldn't be looking up. We basically went into this room, we had the first internet computer in the school, it's like the early 1990s, and this PC was the size of a house. It took about 15 minutes to load up a page, And the only page that the teacher told us to go on, I think this is one of the only pages actually live at the time, or actually online, because there's nothing else, was the FBI Most Wanted page. So we basically opened up this FBI Most Wanted page, hooked up to it, and each image took about 3 minutes to appear, and there's like 10 images, and we all just sat there looking at these images slowly appearing, pixel by pixel, line by line, and it's like, what the hell do we want with the FBI Most Wanted page? It's not like we're going to bump into any of them on bloody lunch break, is it? It's like, is that the only page that's worth going to? The Most Wanted page. It's like, what did they expect me to do? Bump into one on my lunch break and wrestle them to the ground and get them in a headlock? One of the 10 most wanted men in the world. It's like, if I see one of them blokes, I ain't doing nothing. I'm going to go get the bullies and get them to sort it out. We'll see how big their balls are then. Before I left, I had to... everyone has to do this, doesn't they? It's like, you do your blooming GCSEs, and you have to go to see the careers advisor. The careers advisor's going to advise you on what to do with your life. It's like, I walk in there, she said, what do you want to do then? I said, well, I like computers. She said, are you good at maths? I said, not really. She said, well, you can't do computers then. I said, well, thanks very much. It's like, you just ruined my life in one foul swoop. She said, oh, you have to do business studies or something, NVQ. It's like, I don't really want to do an NVQ in business studies. I've got enough GCSE to do A-levels, haven't I? She said, oh, well, if you want to do computers, then you have to do a business studies NVQ, because that's got computers in it. I thought, oh, brilliant. So you're basically telling me to do something I don't want to do. That's a good start in life, isn't it? And who were they to give me advice anyway? So when you went to see your careers advisor, did you tell him you wanted to be a careers advisor? I bet you bloody didn't. No, of course you didn't. So now you're a failed person. You basically failed in your career aspirations, and now you've got the guile to give other people advice on what they should do with their careers. It's like, what sort of a joke is that? It's like, they're hardly going to want you to succeed, are they? I bet they're all bitter because they never got anywhere. They're all bitter because they didn't become a doctor or a brain surgeon. It's like, I'm not going to give these good advice. I'm too bloody bent up out of shape because I failed in life. So I don't want advice from these people. I want advice from someone who's made it. I want old Richard Branson there, or Alan Sugar. I want advice from him. That's who I want. I don't want some bloody washed up wannabe who couldn't make it themselves. Hope you enjoyed this content, guys. Please don't forget to like, subscribe and comment below. I'll catch you in the next video.